difference between voltage and power amplifier, right? Whatever the difference between your voltage and power amplifier, that we have to be seen here, right? So see, uh, voltage amplifier is used to raise the voltage level of weak signal. What it indicates that voltage amplifier, I'm telling you, see only signal strength increases small level. Small level indicate that if I'm telling with respect to I'm in a class, right? I'm in a class. In that case, if I have mic, right, that should be related to only classroom, right? So that is a small area, right? So for that small area, whatever the signal amplifier, it does not requirement of the cover large area, right? So for that purposes, I have to use the voltage amplifier because to cover the smallest area, right? So to cover the smallest area, we have to be use the voltage amplifier. So it have increases the whatever the weak signal only smallest level. This is nothing but your voltage amplifier, right? Power amplifier is used to raise the power level of weak signal, right? So weak signal indicate that with respect to voltage amplifier and with respect to power, I'm telling you, voltage amplifier, what it does, it increases the signal. Both thing are increases your weak signal to the high signal, but voltage amplifier, it is related to the small area, right? In the case of power amplifier, it increases the signal power with a large quantity. This is the difference between your voltage amplifier and power amplifier. Both are done the big signal amplification, but the area covered for voltage amplifier, it should be for small area. Power amplifier, it should be large area, or it is nothing but a, to increase the largest strength, we have to use the power amplifier. To increase the smallest strength, we have to use the voltage amplifier, right? No need of heat sink in a voltage amplifier. So heat sink means what? I'm telling you. Heat sink indicate that, see, we know that when maximum power transfer to the your amplifier, right? Maximum पाहिलं असेल की amplifier वगैरे असतात ना, त्याच्या मागं तुम्ही पाहिलं असेल amplifier जर असेल ना, त्याच्या मागं पट्टी असते एक, म्हणजे पट्टी कोणती सांगतो, ट्रान्झिस्टरच्या मागं एक ब्लॅक कलर लावलेल्या अशा पट्ट्या असतात बघा. दाखवतो तुम्हाला त्या कशा असतात त्या. 1 मिनिट. हीट सिंक काय असते याच्यासाठी दाखवतो. ओके. वन मिनिट. हीट सिंक. See the diagram of heat sink. See, this is the heat sink, right? This is the heat sink which should be connected back of your transistor, right? Back of your transistor. Why it is connected, I'm telling you. See, when we have to use the power transistor indicate that it have requirement of the largest power, right? So it have flowing of the largest power if it is not passing over the area. म्हणजे आज जर ट्रान्झिस्टर आपण पाहिलं, पॉवर ट्रान्झिस्टर तुमच्या डिव्हाइस मध्ये आतमध्ये यूज केला असतो पॉवर अँप्लिफायर मध्ये, राईट? त्यात जर तो जास्त गरम झाला तर तो बर्न होईल, लक्षात घ्या. त्यामुळे ती पॉवर बाहेर पडण्यासाठी तुम्हाला माहित असेल की, एक्झाम्पल सांगतो, तुम्ही जर उन्हाळ्यात कधी ब्लॅक कलरचे कपडे घालून गेला ना, जास्त ऊन लागतं, लक्षात घ्या. आणि थंडी जर ब्लॅक कलरचे कपडे घातले तर थंडी कमी असते, लक्षात घ्या. कारण का की उष्णतेचा अब्सॉर्प्शन तुमचा ब्लॅक कलर करत असतो, लक्षात घ्या. मीन्स this heat sink is the strip of your aluminum and with a black color. That's why whatever the power that should be absorbed by your amplifier, that should be given by this heat sink, and this power given to the nature, right? That's why this is used for the purpose of your, see here कॉम्प्युटर मध्ये पाहिलं असेल बा, हे दिसतंय काय, हे त्यासाठी यूज केलेले असतात बा, राईट? हा, कॉम्प्युटरच्या पाठीमागं वगैरे, राईट? फॅन असतो, काय काय कॉम्प्युटर मध्ये प्रत्येक फॅन असतो, लक्षात घ्या. ओके, दीज आर द हिट सिंक रिलेटेड होता. परत राहू नये म्हणून मी तुम्हाला दाखवलं. ओके, so we just discussed it related to the no need of heat sink in a voltage amplifier, right? So see, why we have to be no need of the voltage amplifier. There should see why we doesn't need of the heat sink in case of your voltage amplifier. See, whatever the power amplifier that by your voltage amplifier, that is not more, right? More power doesn't, so it indicate that no need of the power going outside, right? So that's why voltage amplifier doesn't need of the heat sink. But in case of your power amplifier, it should be amplified the signal as well as whatever the transistor used across it, that is a power transistor, it should requirement of the largest power as an input, right? So due to that largest power, it should not get damaged. So whatever the power coming across it, that should be going outside the nature. That's why it should be need of the heat sink. Heat sink means heट सिंक काय असतं, पॉवर जी आहे ना ती तयार म्हणजे इंटरनली पॉवर जास्त फ्लो झाल्यामुळे ती पॉवर बाहेर जावी, लक्षात घ्या, यासाठी आपण तो यूज करतो इथं. लक्षात येत आहे. देन नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, distortion in output will be minimum, right? So whatever the signal in case of your voltage amplifier, it doesn't requirement of the more stages. Means in case of your power amplifier, see, in case of your power amplifier, we have requirement of the pre-amplifier, voltage amplifier, tone and volume control. So all this is nothing but a three stages which should be required before the power amplification. So as stages increases, it added the noise on it, right? To that's why in case of your voltage amplifier, no any stage, direct amplification, the smallest amplification. So that's why there should be noise should be less. This is nothing but a distortion in output, that should be less, right? See, this is more in case of your sorry, this will be more in case of power amplifier, but see, if we have to be not use the tone and volume controls, right? So compared to the हे जर नाही यूज केलं ना, खूप त्याच्यामध्ये नॉइज आणि हे असतील, पण हे यूज करतोय ना मग कमी असते. पण कम्पेअर टू द व्होल्टेज अम्प्लिफायर याच्यामध्ये थोडीशी नॉइज असते, लक्षात घ्या, राईट? Size of transistor is very small. I'm tell you there are two type of transistor: is small signal amplifier or there is power amplifier. Small signal amplifier is a small size amplifier. Power amplifier is the larger amplifier, right? Why it is large? Because whatever the power flow through it, it is a more. So size of that transistor is should be more, right? So voltage amplifier, whatever the transistor used, that is small, and in case of here, it is a large. Normally, in case of voltage amplifier, there should be RC coupling, right? RC coupling is used, means whatever the input, it is nothing but I'm telling you, this is RC coupled amplifier, right? RC coupled normalized means resistance and capacitor are used for the coupling of one stage to the another stage, that is it is called as RC coupled. This is used for the purpose of voltage amplifier, right? Here transformer coupling is widely used. See, the basic thing with respect to transformer is that when we have requirement of the, तुम्हाला मी याच्या आधी भरपूर वेळा सांगितलंय मॅक्झिमम पॉवर ट्रान्सफर थेरम. आणखी एकदा सांगतो. सी, व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय मॅक्झिमम पॉवर ट्रान्सफर थेरम? So see, when we have to be transfer maximum power from your input to the output, in that case source impedance equal to the load impedance, that is the condition, right? So if we have to be use the transformer, right? Transformer have both input as well as output have same output, and input have the same impedance, right? That's why in case of your transformer used for that purpose, means transformer coupling, if it used for the purpose of power amplifier, it gives the largest gain. लक्षात घ्या, ट्रान्सफॉर्मर जर आपण त्याच्यात यूज केला ना तर त्याची गेन जास्त असणार आहे, कारण की त्याचा इम्पिडन्स इनपुटचा आणि आउटपुटचा सेम असतो, लक्षात घ्या, राईट? त्यामुळे आपण तिथं ट्रान्सफॉर्मर कपलिंग यूज करतो पॉवर अम्प्लिफायर मध्ये, आणि याच्यामध्ये आरसी कपलिंग यूज करत असतो, कारण की मोर पॉवर नसते ज्याच्यामध्ये. Used as a first stage of amplifier. It have only changes the signal from your input to the pre-amplified level only. Smallest signal that should be amplified. That's why it is used for the purpose of first stage of your amplifier, right? Amplifier indicate the largest, means there should be pre-amplifier, then voltage amplifier, then volume noise control, then last stage. So all in first stage of the your amplifier we have to be use the voltage amplifier, right? So it is power amplifier, it should does the function of power amplification, that's why it should be used for the purpose of last stage of your power amplifier purposes, right? uh, Other thing, output impedance is high, right, in case of voltage amplifier, but see why the output impedance of the voltage amplifier is large. मी एक स्टेटमेंट सांगतो त्याच्यावर तुम्ही मला सांगायचंय. सी any of the devices which should be connected as a input, right? Any of the devices which should be connected as a input, what it indicate that, see, if there should be less impedance, indicate that whatever the signal we have coming, that should be mixed, no need of it also it should be mixed, but whatever the inputs applied, in that case if that have largest input impedance, so any noise is not added with respect to it, means input we have requirement of the largest impedance, right? For the purpose of your output it should have less impedance. Why it is? Because any of the devices that should be connected to the your amplifier, right? So in case of your voltage amplifier, it should be pre-amplifier, it is nothing but a first stage, right? That's why it have requirement of the high impedance, right? In case of your power amplifier, it should be connected at the last stage, that's why it is a less output impedance, right? This is the reason. What's the time? Okay. Any problem related to या 2-3 स्लाइडच्या रिस्पेक्ट टू कोणाला काय सांगा मला, त्यानंतर आपण पुढचा पार्ट घेऊया. लक्षात आलंय? See, there are 4 types of the power amplifier, right? We have seen that type of the amplifier. I'm telling you related to the class A and class B amplifier, then class AB and class C amplifier, right? There are some of the advantages and disadvantages of that particular configuration, right? In case of a class A amplifier, only one transistor is used. Efficiency of the general, we just discuss with the generalized thing with respect to for amplifier, right? Class A amplifier is the amplifier which is used here it is less used, right? Why it is less used? I'm telling you, whatever the amplifier means, whatever the purpose of your amplification, it have required only single transistor, means only one transistor used for the purpose of your class A amplifier, and we know that it have operating area that also means whatever the signal applied, that area also less, right? So efficiency of class A amplifier is also less, here about the 25 to the 50%, but normally it is a 25%. म्हणजे याची एफिशियन्सी सगळ्यात कमी असते क्लास ए अम्प्लिफायरची 25%, म्हणजे सिग्नलची स्ट्रेंथ कमी असते क्लास ए साठी, आणि आउटपुट जे मिळतं ते सुद्धा कमी असतं. इन केस ऑफ क्लास बी अम्प्लिफायर, highest gain of this type of the amplifier, it is near about 78.5%, right? This is the efficiency of the class B amplifier. Class AB, it is the combination of class A and class B. Class C also, it is the another type of the amplifier. It have the strength, it have some different function than that of your class AB, A, B, and AB, right? We have seen the detail of particular amplifier. Initially, we have seen the class A amplifier, right? Above, see, this is the figure. This is the figure which shows that this is a class A type of the amplifier, right? So it is normal. Which type of the configuration? I'm telling you, मी जे सांगतो त्याच्यातच आन्सर असेल. There are 3 configuration of the transistor. One is your nothing but a common emitter, other is nothing but a common base, and third is common collector, right? So tell me which type of this configuration of transistor. Right, your emitter terminal is in between your input as well as output, that's why it is a common emitter configuration, right? So in case of class amplifier, we have to use the common emitter configuration, right? So whatever the signal, input signal, that should be applied through the capacitor. Capacitor is the device which should does only the AC signal, OC signal passes over the transistor and it should only amplify, that's why it is used. See, this is the Q point or operating point of the transistor. See, in case of your transistor, we have applied the sine wave signal. See, sine wave signal we have to be applied across your transistor. It got whatever the signal we have got, that is a cos. Why it is? आपण हा क्वेश्चन बऱ्याचदा विचारलाय, म्हणजे याचा अर्थ काय झालं, मी यस ट्रान्सफर करतोय म्हणजे पाठवायला लागलोय आणि आउटपुटला मिळते नो, म्हणजे एक्झॅक्टली अपोजिट आहे. चालेल का असं? चालणार पण आहे, चालेल पण म्हणतोय मी. हाऊ इट इज. See, here we have to be signal applied as sine wave, consider sine wave. Then whatever the output coming here, cos wave, right? That is acceptable. Why it is acceptable? Because did you getting my voice? Positive. Okay. See, we have transmit the sine wave signal. We got the cos wave signal. Is it acceptable? Is it acceptable? Why it is? Because whatever the signal applied, consider as it have strength of the 2, right? Whatever the amplification, then it have strength of the 10, means 5 times signal is increases. If it is cos wave, it is not problem, right? Again we have to be use the same stage, means ही स्टेज आपण जर अशी जर इथे यूज केली ना, cos wave चा परत sine wave मिळणारच आहे की with increasing stage, means increasing the gain, right? So it is not problem, right? But one of the important thing with respect to class amplifier is that due to only one transistor user, see, due to only one transistor user, all of the operating time of this transistor, म्हणजेच काय 366 डिग्री मध्ये हे एकच ट्रान्झिस्टर यूज करावा लागतो, लक्षात घ्या. त्यामुळे काय होतंय की पॉवर जी मिळते ना ती कमी मिळते याच्या रिस्पेक्ट टू पहा. दिस विल बी हॅपन विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू कॉल क्लास एम्प्लिफायर, राईट. सी, normally in case of your amplifier, class amplifier is the amplifier which should be used largest in case of your all of the configuration of the amplifier, right? See, here, see, for the amplification purposes, if the transistor are two used, but it indicates that it, in case of this configuration, class A configuration, only one transistor, right? Whatever the signal indicate that it is from 0 degree to the 360 degree, right? So all of the 360 degree, only one transistor is used. But if it have two transistors, if it is used, if it is used, in that case one is used for 180, other is used for 180. So it becomes largest strength of the signal and it becomes more efficiency. But this have less efficiency. How it is? I'm telling you. See, for the purpose of class amplifier, we have to be use the devices such as BJT, FET, or IGBT, right? 5 that are used. See, 3 are nothing but a transistor: bipolar junction transistor, field effect transistor, insulated gate bipolar transistor, right? IGBT indicate that. Basically, 3 are transistor according to the need, right? According to the need, they have to be used. In case we have requirement of the largest input gate, input impedance, in that case we have to use the FET. If you see, compared to the FET and BJT, there should be largest input impedance with respect to FET and largest less output impedance with respect to the FET. But bipolar, according to the need, it should be used. IGBT, insulated gate bipolar transistor, it also used sometimes to for the purpose of amplifier, right? So see, the single output transistor is biased around the Q point. One of the, I'm telling you why the class A amplifier have less efficiency. The reason behind it is that all of the operating means operating area for the whatever the input applied, that's from 0 to the 360 degree, right? So operating area is 0 to 360 degree, indicate that it should be operating only one transistor should be operating in 0 degree to the 360 degree, right? So for that operation, it doesn't turn up during their operating condition. लक्षात येत आहे का? म्हणजे एकच ट्रान्झिस्टर यूज करतोय, व्हॉटएव्हर द इनपुट सिग्नल अप्लाय केलेले आहे ती साइन वेव्ह आहे. साइन वेव्ह इंडिकेट दॅट पॉझिटिव्ह निगेटिव्ह ऑफ सायकल, राईट? 360 डिग्री ऑपरेट होणार आहे. म्हणजे ते सगळ्या ह्याच्यामध्ये जर ऑपरेट होत असेल तर ट्रान्झिस्टरला ऑफ पिरियडच मिळत नाही, लक्षात घ्या. सो युअर ट्रान्झिस्टर शुड बी ऑपरेटिंग ऑल ऑफ द टाइम, राईट? That is the biggest advantages of this type of the configuration, and that is the reason behind it is it have less gain or less efficiency, right? See, class A amplifier are considered the best class of the amplifier design due to mainly to their excellent linearity. What indicate that? Linearity indicate that whatever the input applied, that should be as it is. See, whatever the input applied, it considered as a, we have applied the sine wave, we also got the output as a sine wave. I am telling you, in case of common emitter amplifier, I am telling you, laksha devu nahi ka. In case of your common emitter amplifier, as I have applied the sine wave, also we have got the sine wave which should be linearly increasing. म्हणजे जे इनपुट अप्लाय केले त्याच्या पट्टीतच ती साइन वेव्ह मिळते. लक्षात घ्या, एक थिंग इथं कॉमा इन ब्रॅकेट आय एम यूज द डिफरंट, म्हणजे एक स्टेज नाही तर डिफरंट अजून एक स्टेज तिथं कॉमन इमिटरची यूज करतोय, ते कंसात आहे. लक्षात घ्या, ते तिथं कन्सिडर करायचंय. लक्षात घ्या, मीन्स इन केस ऑफ लिनियरिटी व्हॉट आय एम टेलिंग यू, इन केस ऑफ युअर this configuration indicate that common emitter configuration. We have applied the sine wave, we have whatever the output coming, that is a cos wave. But what I am telling you, I have applied the sine wave, I have got the cos wave. In that middle session, there should be use of one of the stage that in a bracket ते आहे consider. लक्षात घ्या, bracket मध्ये आहे. So in case of your this classic type of the configuration, whatever the signal applied, that should be linearly increases with respect to output. Linearly indicate that we have applied the signal of the, consider other two signal is applied, it only increases the strength of the signal, it doesn't changes the particular signal value, right? See, it doesn't increases the particular signal, it increases only the value of the signal, right? This is nothing but a linearity, right? So means only changing in the power of the signal or strength of the signal, it doesn't change the signal, right? So although seldom used in a high power amplifier, see there are we have see the certain advantages of that configuration, seldom indicate that quachit. So this it have some of the advantages, yet also it is not used more, seldom indicate that, rarely, right? It should be used in all of the application of amplifier, rarely. The reason behind it is it have very less efficiency, right? And it should have requirement of the certain power supply consideration. What it indicate that one transistor should be worked with respect to the 360-degree. So whatever the power, it should absorb, or what should be power, it should be going outside, right? With respect to your heat sink, that should be more, right? So for the designing of class amplifier, we have requirement of the seeing the thing with respect to the power supply, right? So that's why, and efficiency of that configuration is near about the 25 to the 50, maximum 50, near about the 25 to 30 only, right? That's why class A amplifier is not more used. Another thing, class A amplifier are probably the best sounding of all of the amplifier classes, right? So whatever the quality of sound, some of, see, any of the thing which should be in a nature, it has some of the advantages as well as disadvantages according to the need, we have to be selected. Yet also it has some of the disadvantages, but the whatever the quality of your sound, that should be coming with respect to the class amplifier, that is best quality sound with respect to the class amplifier, right? So that's why it should be used for the high fidelity audio amplifier design, means the circuit or the thing where we have requirement of the high audio amplification. In that case, we have to be use the class A type of the amplifier, right? Give me the attendance. Roll number 1.
Present, sir.
Attendance the roll number 1.
Present, sir.
2.
Present, sir.
3.
Present, sir.
4.
Present, sir.
5.
Present, sir.
6.
Yes, sir.
7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13.
Present, sir.
14.
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16, 17,
Present,
18,
sir.
Yes, sir.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
Yes, sir.
24, 25, 26,
Present, sir.
27, 28,
Yes, sir.
29,
Present, sir.
30,
Present, sir.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41,
Yes, sir.
okay, 42, 43, 44,
Present, sir.
absent number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 27, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, 43.
43.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
हा
43.
किती
43.
43. ओके स्टॉप करूया.